up, guys? We're here again. Another episode from nothing to something. We're here with a good friend of mine, 10 Planet San Diego, 10 Planet Oceanside, the 205 champion for Epic, Team Hurricanes, awesome one and only, the Throwin Samoan.
Hey, what's up, guys? What up, Danny Molina?
What up, baby? You know? So, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Where you're from, what you've done, you know?
Yeah.
Tell us a quick bio.
Yeah. Well, you know, my dad is a native New Zealander, island boy himself. He was in the military, in the army, and he met my mother, who's from Hawaii, and so he meets her, you know, they get together. He's a boxing champion up there. I was born in Washington. And
oh, so you were born in Washington?
Yeah, born in Seattle, but we were there for maybe a year and a half.
All right, so
came back to Vista.
Cool. So your dad is from New Zealand. Met your mom, who's Hawaiian. Where'd your parents meet?
In Hawaii.
Oh, they met in Hawaii,
Yeah,
and then they.
The base there.
Oh, cool. So your dad was in the Navy, you said, huh?
Army.
In the Army.
Yep.
In the Army. Oh, okay. So he was in. I didn't even know there's an Army base in Hawaii.
Well, he went through there.
Oh, okay.
They met.
Nice.
That's where my mom was at the time.
Damn, that's pretty dope. So then, and you were born in Washington?
Yeah, Seattle.
Seattle.
Yep.
Nice. Did you go back there a lot or what?
I've been back there once. Out of place. I've lived in California my whole life. So.
You have a lot of family there or no? Not really.
Seattle, no. Mainly, I have some in California, but a lot of them on the islands. I got family in Hawaii and New Zealand and Australia.
Nice. So how old were you when you came out here to California?
2.5.
Like 2.5?
Yeah,
so you're basically
really
so you're basically from Vista, huh?
Yeah,
basically.
Oh, yeah.
That's basically your area.
Yep.
All right.
Stomping ground.
Cool. That's your stomping ground. You know, you've always repped hard since I knew you. So like me and Eli, I met Eli from the original 10 Planet Vista, the old school dudes, you know
That's
what I
right.
mean? When Gio and Boogie were coaching together and like they were like what, like purple belts? Right? That's when
Well, I met Gio. He was a brown belt. You met them before I did.
Yeah, I met them a little bit before you, but when you started coming around, you were already like fighting and shit, huh?
Yep.
You were already doing all that. Where were you training at before you started training with Gio?
I was training out of World Gym Vista. They had Team World MMA. They're no longer there anymore. And it started with my journey with them began with Boogie. Boogie started teaching no-gi jiu-jitsu there because he had fought some amateur fights for World Combat Series, the same gym. That was their deal. And I started taking his class, got hooked, and then he went to San Diego, started up San Diego, and Gio had started teaching us over there at World Gym, and been with them ever since, brother.
Yeah.
I don't regret it at all.
Yeah, you have. You always rep hard. You always rep hard for 10 Planet Oceanside.
Always, brother.
All the time.
Freaks don't sleep.
Hell yeah. Freaks don't sleep. Those of you that don't know, 10 Planet obviously is, the jiu-jitsu school. It's grown up. It's blown up pretty big over the years. Eddie Bravo created it, and our coaches, Giovanni Martinez, the Freakazoid, and Boogie Martinez, they're our coaches. They hold us down. They hold it down, and they're prodigies in the game. They got their black belts in 5 years, 6 years, something like that, straight from Eddie Bravo.
Yep.
And Eddie Bravo takes pride in his crew down here in San Diego. We're the only ones call ourselves freaks. You know what I mean? 10 Planet Freaks, FDS, Freaks Don't Sleep.
Yep.
So we're always repping hard. All right, so tell me a little bit about your journey as far as MMA, man. What was that like? What's that about? I know you started from nothing, and a lot of people were hating on you in the beginning, huh?
Yeah, big time. You know, my family they weren't big fans of it, and the way it happened was a friend of mine was taking jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And I needed a ride, so he said, I won't be able to take you for a few hours, because I found out he had to go to class. So I waited. I go inside the place, they start rolling, and then there's one guy who doesn't have a training partner, right? And he's about my size.
Yeah.
So I go on the mats. I was like, whatever. Get some exercise, do this. And the guy totally fucking rolled me up, man, hard. And then I was hooked ever since that.
Yeah. That's pretty dope.
Started going every day. I ended up started fighting with Camo, California MMA.
Right.
And had my fights out of World Gym Vista, World MMA, and I lost my first 2 fights.
Yeah.
So I started out, I was 0-2, and I didn't know if I was going to hang shit up. I was kind of at a down point. I had been training hard,
Right.
So I changed some things up, and training with Boogie and Gio. It helped me, man. I was subbing these guys like right after tournaments, and I was going in. I started winning, and then I eventually got plugged in with Coach Manolo and everyone down at San Diego Combat Academy.
Yeah. And I mean, man, coming off of 2 losses immediately, that has to do something too. You feel like you want to do something, and anytime anybody starts something, like, you feel like a nobody, because essentially you are a nobody and you're starting from ground zero, and then to be defeated twice, that'll take the average Joe right out of the game.
Oh yeah, man, I was a total laughing stock of the whole local fight scene with Camo. People making fun of me. I mean, for one, my family loved it because they already weren't for it, so every time I lost, they were excited and talking more shit. And then, like, the people in the local scene, you're an 0-2 guy, he sucks or whatever, but a lot of those same people, I see at the Epic shows, and now they're all nice to me and stuff.
Yeah, they're all nice to you. You walk around the Epic show, you're the 205 champ, you're like, what's up, bitch? You know what I mean?
So don't forget who was there with you in the beginning.
Yeah, that's right. All right, I like that. So, you're still growing. You're going to go pro here soon, hopefully. And we're going to see you because you're going to keep chasing the dream. And I'm going to be with you the whole step of the way. I'm your training partner and shit.
That's right.
But it always interests me to meet people because everybody started from the bottom, and you're on the climb up. You're a little bit further the climb up than I am. I'm a ways behind you. Tell me about the whole process, about, like, what goes through your head, like, how do you feel about where you are? Are you content? Are you comfortable? What's your goals? You know what I mean? Like, is this where you saw yourself years ago? Tell me a little bit about that, like the whole, starting from the bottom and being now a champion at the amateur level at one of the best, for one of the best companies that are out here in Southern California. What goes through your mind with that?
Coming off 0-2, I really debated on hanging my gloves up.
Yeah.
A lot of people got like, maybe I suck, maybe I'm not out to be this, but I think it was, everyone kind of talking shit, saying, we told you so, and laughing at me, and it just pushed me to train hard, and it led me towards the psychological part of the game, which I was lacking. I was doing the work in the gym, but you got to do your mental studies too, and I've taken advantage of that, and it's worked out really well for me. It changed. I learned about rerouting the way that I think, and I write things down on flashcards. I write everything down. I always got piles of papers after every camp, and you just got to make sure you do the work, and you got to make sure your mind is right, because you can have all the skills, but if your mind ain't there, none of your talent will come out on fight night. Right. I learned that the hard way, and I don't want to ever make that mistake again.
Right, yeah. I know you're doing a lot of work recently with, the mindset, right? Getting your mind right. And I agree, like, being in competition, if you don't believe in it, then nobody's really gonna believe in it. At the end of the day, you have to believe that you can make this happen. If you have any doubts, those doubts are gonna really come out when it comes, time to perform. What is it specifically that you feel like that's done for you? Like, a little bit more in depth. Like, specifically, what do you feel like you're doing that's really helping you out? That's really, like, done the 180 for you. That's gotten you in the right place.
Well, it happened a little before I started taking the psychological part of the game serious.
Okay.
I got plugged in at San Diego Combat Academy, and then I realized, I got really good coaches around me.
Yeah.
I took advantage of all their classes. I saw the fighters that they were bringing up, they got Liz Carmouche, YL's fought in the UFC. They just got tons and tons. Boogie, the list goes on and on. And I fed off that because I knew that, they're being coached by these people. They've been in the game. You could tell that they're about it. People go to practice and they put their gloves on and they handle their fucking business. So to be around that attitude and see other people work hard, and then you get into different routines and you find things that actually work better for you than what you were doing before. Yeah. So I just kind of was patient, put it all together. I did the extra work on my own, my movement, shadow boxing, strength and conditioning, and I started putting it together like that, man. And our style with jiu-jitsu, just so confident if the fight ever goes to the ground, and
Yeah, that's true. That's one thing that I was always sure of. I go back, I've only had 2 fights, but I go back and I watch them, and it makes me laugh, like watching how bad these dudes did not want to go on the ground. So many times when these guys could have just smothered me. They could have been in north-south. All they had to do was just come down. They would have established side control. They completely avoided the ground game. So I agree with you there. One thing that sticks out to me is the nerves, right? So over your time and the experience, right, at the amateur level, they say that you're supposed to have your failures there, right? You're supposed to get that cage experience, get that confidence, right? And I'm still learning, right? The nerves are there. They've always been there, With this, psychological aspect that you've implemented into your training, does it take away from the nerves, or are they still there? How do you feel when they do close that cage? You're looking at the guy across from you, and you're a couple seconds away from putting on a show for the crowd. How does that feel?
Well, I think it starts with preparation. Going in, you don't ever want to be in the locker room and be like, oh, this day I wonder if I should have did more sprints or more swimming or more strength.
Yeah, you don't want to be doubting what you were doing. Okay.
Yeah, so you got to make sure that every day the work is done. That comes with writing everything down on flashcards. I read it over and over. I see the work that I did, so I know that part's done. I know I got all the work done. And through the guy's name is Ken Baum. He had a seminar over at San Diego Combat Academy before his last epic fight, and the way he was showing us and sticking to the basics and routines, it just really hit home with me. So taking all that in, man, it just made things easy because I realized what needed to be there. I know the nerves are going to be there, and they have to be there. They got to be there. But I know that I've done all the work, and by the time I get into the cage, as soon as I walk in there, all that nervousness I had is gone. It's disappeared.
Right.
I'm ready to go, yeah.
So it takes off as soon as you walk in there, is what you're saying. As soon as you walk in, it takes off and it just happens.
It just does, because I see a lot of top level guys, guys in the UFC champions, like George St. Pierre, guys like that. They say, oh, they'd be in the back, man. GSP said, I felt like crying, and they would all say the same thing, that as soon as they stepped in, the nerves would just be gone. And I was like, well, they all have that in common, and I wonder, because I still would feel nervous going into fights, is because of, mentally being prepared. It's just as important as the physical part. In a lot of ways, it's more important.
Yeah.
So I decided to put more time into that, and the reading and the thoughts that I was taking in, and good things just came out of it. And here we are, man. 10 Planet Oceanside's got the belt.
Yeah. Nice. So, what's the next step for you, man? What's your plan? What do you got going on next? Where's your head at as far as what you want to do? How old are you right now?
I am 35.
35.
16.
35 going on 60. Yeah, you look fucking good, man. You're a big fucking guy. And the thing is we talked about this before with Samoans. It's funny because you guys are like monsters, like your physical capability. You know what I mean? It's crazy. You're like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. You know what I mean? You got the same bloodline as that dude. So, what's next for you, man? What's going through your head? What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish?
You know what? Yeah, I'll say it. I'm ready to go to the pros. I feel that I've done enough AMI fights. I want to fight it. Combate Americas, maybe. We got Brave MMA over in Bahrain with Alex Soto and Coach Manolo. They got that going on. So there's opportunities out there. You just got to make sure you're ready for when your number comes up. It could pop out on a week's notice, 2 weeks' notice, and that's not enough time to have a camp, so you got to be ready all the time. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, being ready it's such a key part of the game, you know what I mean? The preparation, and that's the one thing that I feel like I'm definitely missing, is the whole thing where they talk about, what is it? Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, so talk to us about your training. What are you doing right now training-wise? What's your schedule like?
Well, in the morning I do my strength and conditioning. Because right now, I continued training after my fight on June 24th. I haven't stopped training since then, but, I would always get my strength and conditioning in the morning, 5 a.m., 4 days a week. I'd swim twice a week. I run 3 times a week, alternating days between sprints, hill sprints, and jogging. And then, 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Monday through Friday, be jiu-jitsu. Well, now that I live down here in San Diego, I'm not in Vista anymore. And it's just, I would have to do things on my own, because I work too, man, and family all the time with that. I would have to do a lot of the stuff on my own, but I took advantage of the way that we were being taught things. I write it down so I'd have it for myself later also. But, on top of that, we also got great instruction. We're talking world-class instruction. And you can never go wrong there. If you do the work, the coaches are teaching you, then you're going to get good stuff, man.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. Hey, Narcos just came out. Narcos season 2. How sick was that?
Yeah, man. I mean, how long did it take you to watch all 10 episodes?
It took me like 3 days, but I also you know what I mean? I'm like up at night, like just trying to sneak in another episode. I could have easily watched it in one day.
Man, that guy, Escobar, he really messed up, man.
Why? What do you mean? How do you feel like he messed up?
I think when he tried to become a politician was when it really, really started.
Yeah, and his cousin called it, huh? His cousin, when he was burning the barrels, he's like, you fucked this up for us. His cousin. Yeah, they did. They got him good, huh? Yeah. That's crazy, bro. Just to think about that, like historic things like that, even like shit like that, man. Just like drug dealing, shit like that. Shit that interests me. I like that shit. I like watching those movies, those documentaries. And we were just watching Cocaine Cowboys. It's pretty crazy how like we've evolved. How like Miami was what it was, and people were making so much money, and now there's no way you can do what they were doing before. How do you think they're even smuggling that shit in here, man? You ever wonder that? Yeah.
Probably people on the inside.
They probably, huh?
These guys are making their money back in the day, and people want to call them crooks. But you know what? They're not really that much different from our government.
Yeah. I mean,
anyway, that's another.
It's cool, man. I mean, that is a theory. That is a theory. There's people who believe that like the CIA works from the inside and like we make money off of like drug dealing. You know what I mean? Like, my question is this, right? How is it that you have like an invisible border between Mexico and America, and Mexico's so fucked up in America? How do we keep that outside of our area? You know what I mean? There has to be some sort of deal that we don't know about. You know what I mean? And that's a theory that I've heard. I mean, if it's true, if it's not true, I don't know. It's just crazy to think about that. You know what I mean? It's an imaginary border. People come across it all the time. How's there not a drug war happening in Southern California and Texas and New Mexico and Arizona? We border those cities that, people are dying, being hung, being massacred every day. They're being chopped up, put into barrels, and lit on fire.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to think about, So, I don't know, but definitely Narcos was a sick ass show. One of my favorites. Do you think the spinoff's going to be any good? I don't think the stories about like the Cali cartel are as interesting as like the infamous Pablo Escobar. You know what I mean? You think the spinoffs are going to be as good or what?
I think people are going to at least give it a shot.
Yeah.
Because Narcos has such a big following.
Yeah.
And with the way they're going on with it, is like it's still like the real story, so people get to see what really happened. Right. Also.
Yeah. That's really
it's
true.
Not all of it, but they say in the beginning.
Yeah, based on the true story and shit. And like the crazy, we're talking about our government and stuff. And if you really read into season 2 of the Narcos, they kind of get at that like the CIA was like heavily rooted in like some like shady shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Like that's crazy, man. That's fucking crazy. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm real open-minded, and I listen to everybody's theories, and I don't really pick one specifically to believe, one to not believe, but. I mean, if it sounds legit, then, I heard somebody say that these people at these high levels, they don't have to get together and have meetings. They have the same interests. They went to the same schools. They go to the same country clubs. You know what I mean? They play golf together. They have like-minded interests. They don't have to sit around and plan this shit. They know what's good for them and what's best for them and what's going to benefit them, and they're not dumb. You know what I mean? And that's a very logical state of mind. You know what I mean? Like if you and I are on the same team, on the same squad, we have the same goal. You know what I mean? Like we don't even have to plan anything out. You know what I mean? We're both striving for the same thing. I know know what you're doing. You know what I'm doing. And we just keep it moving. At the end of the day, nobody can say anything. You know what I mean? Nobody really has to understand our agenda. We don't have to understand the government's agenda and what's going on, you know?
Right, because they can't do what they want because there's nobody watching them.
Right.
They're at the top, right?
Right. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about. It's definitely interesting, you know? What other TV series do you do? Like, what do you watch other TV shows? Like, what are you really into?
Oh, series that have passed. You know, I like mob stuff, so I like Sopranos and Boardwalk Empire.
Hey, there's another documentary on Netflix about like the organized mafia. It's pretty dope the way they set it up.
Yeah,
it's really sick. If you get, I forget what it's called. I gotta look it up. But if you get a chance, watch it. It's like I really think it's called like the Mafia of the Americas or something, like Gangsters of America or something like that. It's like a documentary, but it's pretty dope. Apparently it's based on true events, and they have like people that were actually there talking about what they did and like just shady shit that they did. Is just crazy. Yeah. You know, it's crazy. And when we get deeper into Cooking Cowboys, you're gonna see how crazy it gets. Like how wild it gets, because we watched like 20 minutes of it.
Oh yeah, and I'm already hooked on it,
bro. It's so crazy. The dude, they were flying the coke in from Colombia straight to Miami, and they had fucking barns built, and the hay part of the barn opens up. It looks like a normal barn, but really it was a fucking aircraft carrier or a fucking like a little fucking what is it?
Landing?
No, it wasn't a landing thing. It was like a place where they store their planes. But if you open the fucking hay doors, the hayloft doors up top, you can see that's where like the tail can come in. You know what I mean? It's just like a place where they can store their plane and nobody will question it. And they flew into Florida. They didn't fly into Miami because their theory was everybody was getting stopped from south coming north, but they weren't stopping anybody from north coming south. So they would fly north of Miami, land, and then just drive south into Miami.
Right. Wow. All that money too. Those guys were getting paid by the kilo. They were saying,
bro. He said they were getting like $3,000 a kilo, and
$3,500 a kilo.
$3,500 a kilo, and they were shipping them like 75 kilos, 100 kilos, 300 kilos. You know what I mean? Like, they were bringing big numbers in, and they were getting paid, dog. Paid.
First trip, he said, was $1.2 million.
Yeah.
In that time, in the 70s.
In the 70s, bro. He said $20,000 in the 70s, you were doing really well.
Right, $20,000 a year, you were doing good.
That's fucking crazy, man. That's nuts.
Dude, there's no doubt in my mind, if we'd have lived in that time, we'd have ran the fucking table, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but you know what? Hindsight's 20/20. I feel like a lot of people would say that. I feel like everybody feels that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Think about it. In like 40 years, your kids are gonna be like, man, if I was alive back then, man, I would have done this, this, and that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Technology just keeps getting better and better. It's pretty crazy what's going on.
Plus, pretty much all of them ended up dead. So.
All those dudes? Like the Colombian cartel guys? Yeah. Well, you'll see. There's a lot of them that are still alive. They ended up just snitching on each other, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, it's very hard to find loyal people, man. It's very hard to find loyal people. When it comes, everybody's looking out for their own best interests, you know what I mean? And if you're going to get some time off your sentence, most people are going to go ahead and they're going to give some information, you know what I mean? They're going to snitch, they're going to rat, you know?
Like Blackie did on Kika.
Yeah, in Narcos, yeah. Exactly. And then Kika snitched, and then Kika snitched on Pablo, bro. He was trying to set him up. He was like, "Yeah, I'm here. Are you close?" Remember, he was trying to get him over there.
Yep, that's right.
Man, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, people they're gonna roll on each other. You know, eventually, you give somebody a good enough deal, and they'll do it. And it's fucked up.
I can't believe that Limon guy made it to the end. He came in late, but you still wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, I didn't know he was that thug. How spoiler alert, he shot the girl. Yeah, spoiler alert. Sorry, guys, if you haven't seen it, but he shot the girl, bro. She was like, get the fuck out of here. He was like, bang, bitch. And he just like,
yeah, he went there to take the money back.
Yeah, he took them. She's like, we need it. It's her and her daughter. Yeah. We need it. He didn't give a fuck. He's like, me and el patron need it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
See what else is on TV tonight. Oh, a rematch of the Super Bowl is on.
Right now.
Denver and Carolina. Speaking of football, is it true that You're a Rams fan now, yeah.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. You know what? So here's the deal with that. All right? Here's the deal with that. So, all right, man. So this guy's laughing at me. He's not even letting me explain.
All ears.
All right. So I'm from Connecticut. I was born and raised out there. I didn't really watch football growing up. I started playing football, and when I started watching it, there were a couple teams I could have liked. Technically, right? I had the entire team in any team in the NFL I could have picked, right? But I wanted to pick a team in my area. Well, I'm from Southern Connecticut. I'm from Stamford, Connecticut, right outside of New York City. So it was the Jets, the Giants, or I can go with the Patriots. But if I was going to go with the Patriots, number one, I can easily say, or I can go with the Ravens, because the Patriots were just so far from me. You know what I mean? They're like, I don't know how far, maybe like 2-3 hours for me to drive over there.
Could have went to the Bills too, Buffalo.
Oh yeah, Buffalo Bill, but the Buffalo is upstate New York. That's even further than the Jets. It's probably only like an hour or two away. Mm-hmm. But like, you know, like I'm like right there in the city, you know. And I guess technically they were playing the Meadowlands when I was growing up, the Jets and the Giants, which is in New Jersey. A lot of people don't know that. The New York Jets and the New York Giants, the Meadowlands is in New Jersey, so their stadium is actually like in New Jersey. So I guess either way, the stadium is about an hour from me. But the Patriots were really good. And I didn't like the Patriots. They just weren't my area. You know, I'm from. And there were a lot of people in Stamford that are Patriots fan, but it wasn't as popular. Majority of my area was Giants fans. You know, if you go to New York City, you'll get two types of people. You get people who like the Giants and the Yankees, and then you'll get the people who like the Jets and the Mets. Very rarely will you cross them. Well, I grew up playing baseball, so I was a baseball fan. I grew up Yankees all day. Never even been to Met Stadium, which is really weird. You know what I mean? But Yankees fan, I grew up, you know, enjoying the Yankees. So naturally, everybody was like, dude, you're a Giants fan. I was like, no, I'm not, because the Giants are already really good. And I've just never been the type of person to go with the grain. You know what I mean? I like doing my own thing. I like making my own path. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to be a Jets fan. You know, and the truth is, I was a Jets fan. People would ask me, I never denied it. I'd always say, oh, yeah, my team's the Jets. But I never really followed them. Uh-huh. You know, I really didn't. Then I came out here to California. During the Marine Corps, came out here to California. And who really put me on the idea, honestly, I'll never forget, we were watching football one time. We were watching football at my buddy's house. My buddy's name's John Cody. And Cody, he is from Riverside. And, you know, Marines, they come from all these different areas, so you have all these different people that, you know, follow different teams. So we used to have parties at Cody's house and watch football and drink beer and just hang out. And Cody never had a team. And he used to always say, like, you know what, man, if LA gets a team, I'll be a fan of that team. And I remember thinking, like, you know what, I might do the same thing, you know what I mean? Like, because I've never had a team. And then when I heard the Rams were coming and they were probably going to take, you know, the Chargers were leaving and things like that. This was all talk last year. I had considered it. And then football season started up. And so yesterday, I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. You know, I've been in California for like 9 years. I've been in Southern California for a while. Again, I don't want to be a Chargers fan, not because Chargers suck. Because the Jets aren't any better. You know what I mean? But again, I just don't want to go with the crowd. So for me, being a Rams fan, like, you know, it's going to be their first season in LA. You know what I mean? Like, I get to join a team from the beginning, you know? And I mean, the theory of this podcast in itself is from nothing to something. So, in theory, I should be a fucking Rams fan this year. So, fuck everybody else. Go Rams, LA, all day.
All right. Because they started there anyway. So
did they?
Well, let me not say they started there. They were the LA Rams.
Okay.
Well, I think in the 80s.
And then they went to St. Louis. Yeah, when I was growing up, I remember St. Louis Rams. Yeah. But now they're back. And you know what? I went on their website and shit, and I looked at the concept for the field. Their field is going to be sick. Have you seen it?
Oh, yeah.
It's supposed to be money. Yeah, and it's supposed to be like the most. It's going to be put up by 2019. It's supposed to be like the most advanced, the first advanced football field that they're going to build. Eventually, I'm sure the entire NFL will start transferring over to it. But the field just looks sick. The whole setup of it looks so futuristic. It's crazy. Looks like a Jetsons fucking commercial, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Looks like fucking Star Wars. It's fucking dope. You know? What about you? What's your team? Mr. fucking, my mom's from Hawaii, my dad's from New Zealand, I'm from Vista, but I was born in Washington. What's your team?
I'm an Oakland Raider fan.
Oh my God, another fucking Oakland Raiders fan.
And I'm flooded around Charger fans for you guys around San Diego, everywhere, man.
Dude, on the last podcast I did is my boy War Dog Rob Wharton. He's a buddy of mine. I came up within the Marine Corps with him, and he's from Oakland. He's an Oakland fan. Well, he's from San Jose area. I don't really even know the fucking difference, bro. You know that? Like me, I'm from the East Coast. I came to California. I thought everybody was like how everybody is in LA and San Diego, and like I actually went to my girl's house in Sacramento for the first time like months ago. You know what I mean? When we first met, I drove up there and I was like, what the fuck? I had no idea Central California was nothing but farmland. It was fucking garbage, bro. It's shitty driving through there.
Yeah.
It's hot as fuck. It's nothing but farm, just flat miles of just cows and shit. You don't even know when the next gas station is going to be, so you got to be careful and shit. And then you hit Stockton, and then you hit Sacramento, and I guess you got San Francisco. You got San Francisco up there, which I went to San Francisco. It's pretty cool. But like, when people are like, I'm from San Jose, or I'm from Oakland, or I'm from, like, I don't really understand like the demographics of that, like the locations. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But whatever. To me, Californians are Californians, I guess.
Yeah.
What did you find difficult, right? So, like, when I watch UFC and shit like that, or I hear, like, interviews, they always talk about, and, I mean, I've experienced myself, like, I grew up wrestling and jiu-jitsu and things like that, and, man, they always talk about relationships. They always talk about relationships, how it really affects the fighters. Any fighting movie that you see, there's always like a relationship that like fucks something up, or you know what I mean? It's always like a girl that like, the dude like is in love with and she dies, or she breaks up with him, or she just doesn't believe him, and you know what I mean? It really changes like his energy and his ability to perform. And I experienced that a lot.
Everything up.
So have you experienced issues like that? Have you? What are some things that you've got involved with that kind of like messed you up a little bit, that you feel like?
Well, I'll say this. It's just, because training takes up so many hours a week. You got to do this many hours striking, this many hours wrestling and jiu-jitsu and conditioning and game planning and mentally preparing and spending time making sure your diet's on point. And that doesn't make for a lot of time for a girlfriend or for a relationship. And, in the beginning, a lot of these girls come in and they're like, I'll be there for you. I got your back no matter what. But they really don't know what they're...
Yeah, they don't get it. They don't know what you're signing up for.
Yeah, they're just saying yes, and it seems that they don't, a lot of them, well, from my experience, don't quite know what that entails.
No, but it's true, though, man. Like, you know what they see? They see, like, the girl in, like, the pretty blue dress sitting ringside in the movies and cheering her man on, and she's all, like, emotionally invested, like, oh, my God. Oh, and then he wins, and she stands up, and he's all sweaty and bloody and beat to shit. She, like, runs in the cage. He, like, makes out with her and, like, proclaims his fucking love for her. That's what these dumb bitches see, and that's what they think it is. They don't see, like, the legwork that it takes to get to that win.
Yeah, because, like we were talking about being mentally ready, if you're arguing with your girl or some bullshit's going down, that could affect you. You're supposed to be focusing on this fight, and you're supposed to be having her support, but you're not getting it. And,
yeah.
Sometimes shit can happen. You just gotta do your best to remain the course and stay focused. And if you're really serious about fighting, I would suggest not being in a relationship.
Yeah.
I would say to be single, and I mean that's just my opinion. I think that I play the variables game with that, and if you don't have to worry about a relationship because you got to spend time with that person, and when you're training as much as we do, it doesn't make for a whole lot of time, and nobody's gonna like that.
Yeah.
I make sure I tell them in the beginning though.
Yeah. But even then, they think they fucking know everything, huh?
Yeah, man. It's all you can do is try.
It's funny, man, because I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. It's not easy, and if you're gonna be in a relationship and make that sacrifice, you have to understand that you are giving up time to train a little bit, and a little bit is still time to train. You add up an hour a day that you would have been at the gym that you kind of left a little bit earlier to go do something with your girl. That adds up over weeks, over an entire fight camp. You know what I mean? An hour a day over 8 weeks. You're missing out on days of training that your opponent is probably getting and putting in that work, you know? And not that relationships can't work out. It just, it's not easy. You know, I always tell people, this is what I think about, like, relationships, and when you have a goal, you have to stay focused. You have to stay focused no matter what it is. And your goal can be whatever, bro. You can fucking flip burgers at Burger King. There's nothing wrong with that. And you're trying to be like the fucking Burger King flipping champion of your fucking area. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if that's what you want to do, you have to stay focused on that. And relationships or whatever else you got fucking going on is going to take away from your focus. It's going to take away from your ability to be as good as you want to be. And that's the truth. 100% focus. If you're not 100% focused, you have 100% of your time. And if 100% of it is not being put towards your craft, then it's being put towards something else. That means you're not meeting your full potential. And you have to accept that. You just have to understand that you're putting that at risk, and you accept that responsibility. You have to take accountability for yourself. Take responsibility for that. You know what I mean? You can't blame anybody else but yourself. But at the end of the day, I explain to people that I look at relationships, and I mean friendships, girlfriends, boyfriends, husbands, wives, whatever the fucking case may be. I look at that like it's like a train, right? It's like, bro, your life is like a train, man. And people get on the train and get off the train, right? And you start from the beginning of the tracks all the way to the end of the track, right? And some people get on the train early and they get off early. And some people get on the train early and stay on a little bit later, but they don't make it all the way to the end. Not everybody can make it all the way to the end like that. It just doesn't work like that. But at the end of the day, if somebody gets off the train that you don't want to get off, the train can't stop because it has a deadline to get to the end of the track. And that's your life. You have to understand that it can't stop. You have to keep moving forward. You have to keep going. You have to keep pushing. And it's as simple as that. If you lose somebody in your life, they just got off your train, bro. Someone else is going to get on and fill that void. And hopefully they stay to the end. But eventually somebody's going to get on and stay to the end. But you have to remain the course. You have to stay focused. You have to stay dedicated. And that's, I mean, in my opinion, that's what it takes. I'm ultimately a nobody. You know what I mean? But fuck, I'm trying to get somewhere. And I feel like I got the right recipe. But maybe everybody does, you know?
Nothing to something, brother.
Yeah, nothing to something.
Yep.
From nothing to something.
Yep, the train's going to keep going till the end, you know? But, you know, not to say that those girls aren't out there. There are those girls that stand by their guy and they're supportive. And if you find one of those, keep her.
Yeah.
Keep her.
But you know what? They all seem like that at first, don't they? That's the problem, man. You know what I mean? It takes time to really understand people and know people and like notice signs, you know what I mean? At first you avoid red flags, you're like, damn, but she's just so good at this or so good at that. You know what I mean? Like maybe she has something that my ex didn't that I really wanted my ex to have. And that's what you focus on, and you completely avoid the fact that like you know what I mean? Like yeah, she fucking is crazy or she's a psycho, you know what I mean? She threatened to stab you, you're like, oh, she's just joking. You know what I mean? Like dudes avoid things like that. You know, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy what pussy does to guys.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. You can be focused and passionate about something, and pussy will change your entire life. Take you off track. Make you lose your focus.
Yep, all it takes is one little taste.
Well, do you remember the first time you got pussy?
Yeah, I didn't lose my virginity until I was 18.
All right.
It took me a while.
All right, was this with a girlfriend or what?
A girlfriend.
Was it a girlfriend? Yeah. High school sweetheart?
My high school sweetheart.
Your high school sweetheart?
She had graduated.
Oh, okay. Oh, she was a little bit older?
A year older.
She was a year older? Yeah. All right. So, did, like, you guys had sex, like, one time? Like, was it something that you planned? Was it something that just happened? Like...
You know, it had just happened, and it was because I went into... Okay, so we're having sex in the bed, and, I don't know anything about... I know where it goes, right? So, and I forget to lube it up, and I'm trying to fucking force it in her because she was a virgin, too.
Right.
It's just fucking...
Oh, no foreplay? You were just like, let's do it? And you went to just...
Raw.
You just rammed your dick into, like, a dry pussy?
Yep. It fucking hurt.
Did you spit it on it or anything? No, nothing.
Eventually.
Eventually?
Yeah.
Did it hurt you or hurt her? Or hurt both?
Well, no, she started getting wet too.
Yeah.
So and then it was great, man. It lasted like literally probably 25 seconds.
yeah. Story of my life, man.
Yeah, it was cool. I pulled it out, right, and I sprayed it all over her stomach, and it was just everywhere. I was like, oh shit, you know.
Damn, you went in raw too for your first time?
Well, I had known her all my life. Her dad had done business with my uncle. I mean, that doesn't make it okay.
You're
trying to get some, okay? I was 8 years old.
That's hilarious, man. That's so funny. Man, you know, my first time I was young. I was 14. The girl was a little bit older. She was like 17 or 18. And, you know, it was just, I had lied to her. I told her that I got laid before, and she believed me like a fucking dumbass. What 14-year-old had pussy before? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, I thought I knew everything, and I, like, thought I completely fooled her. And then she came over, and, you know, we did our thing, and, like, from then on, I was hooked, man. It was bad.
Did you eat her out?
Like, the first time?
Yeah.
No, hell no. Fuck no. Fuck no. I didn't even know. That would have scared me, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, now I don't give a fuck. I go down there like a champion, bro. That's my fucking... you know what I mean? That's my meal when I cut weight. You know what I mean?
So, I mean... In your lifetime, how many girls do you think you slept with?
How many girls have I slept with?
Yeah.
You're trying to get me in trouble, man. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get me in trouble.
Fine.
You're trying to get me in trouble on the podcast.
Right.
Hey, no. Real answer. I really don't know, man.
You don't have to answer that.
Well, I really don't know. The truth is, I really don't know. You know, I've been pretty free spirited my entire life since I was 14. You know, right. I've done my thing, and I feel like I've always been a good looking dude. You know, and I joined the Marine Corps right out of high school, and I traveled, and I've gone to different countries. So my number's up there. I mean, I'm not like as bad as some dudes I know, which really isn't saying much. But I don't know off the top of my head. I really don't. I never kept count.
100?
Nah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe around there.
All right.
Nothing crazy.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. What about you? What's your number at?
See, in my lifetime, probably... It's not very high. I mean, I was a late bloomer. Probably in the 20s.
Probably in the 20s? But you know what, man?
26, upper 20s.
That ties into exactly what the fuck we're talking about. You know what? Because, like if I'm in the hundreds and you're in the 20s, then clearly pussy is fucking up our goals. You know what I mean? Because you got the championship and I'm only 2 fights in, still waiting, still hungry. You know what I mean? Like, damn, pussy's fucking my goals up, man. It's proven right here. That's the problem. That's the problem. I get laid too much. It's funny. So my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, she asked me about like my new girlfriend and stuff, and she was like, so you're gonna bring her around the family? And I was like, yeah, maybe next time. And she said, damn, that's kind of soon. And I had to like break it down for her. I was like, listen, you don't understand something. You gotta understand something. Like, I get twice the amount of pussy as like a normal dude. I do. You know what I mean? So like these girls are running through here a lot faster than your average dude. So I have to like slow the pace down. You know what I mean? I have to grab the good ones while they're here. I can't just let them fucking pass me by, you know? So I don't know. It's pretty funny when she said that. My brother and his wife are funny, man. They're fucking hilarious. Yeah. My brother, you know, they sit there and they like argue and they talk shit to each other, but it's just like, it's the funniest thing, man. You know what I mean?
They're on the East Coast right now?
Yeah, they're on the East Coast, yeah.
What's the biggest difference between the people? I'd like to go visit the East Coast.
Oh, you haven't been?
No.
You haven't been? It's the people. The people. People are a lot more, people on the East Coast are a lot more reserved, a lot more quiet, but they're also very outspoken, right? So like, they'll tell you fuck off a lot quicker than people will over here. But I don't know, the people on the East Coast are just great, man. Like everybody out there has a incredible sense of humor, you know, and they're really short-tempered.
Yeah.
They are. They're really short-tempered out here. And honestly, I think it's the weather. I do. Out here, it's always nice and beautiful. You know what I mean? Like the people reflect the weather out here in California.
True.
In the East Coast, it gets like crummy and you never get used to weather out there. At least where I'm from, like in Connecticut, you know, they call it the tri-state area: New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. It's bro, you get the hottest summers, 110-degree heat, and it's humid. You know what I mean? It's not even like fun hot. It's not even like, oh, this is nice, let's go to the beach. It's like you walk outside, you can't even fucking breathe. Your shirt's sticking to your chest. You're like, oh,
humid?
Yeah, it's humid as fuck. And then in the winter, some days like they'll cancel school because it's too cold. Because if kids stand out on the bus stop for too long, they'll catch frostbite.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man, it's shitty because you never get used to anything because it's fucking freezing cold and it snows, right? And it snows, so you got to go outside. You got to shovel your fucking driveway. You got to shovel your walkway. Somebody slips on your shit, they can sue you. So you got to go out there and shovel your shit, right? Yeah. But like, it's not gonna snow once. Sometimes you have to go out there and shovel while it's still snowing. So everything you just shoveled, right, when you're done, there's still like 2 inches now that's piled up over the hour that you've been out there on everything you just shoveled. You have to lay down rock salt and shit, right? And then it starts, and then so you have like the December, January, February, March, it starts getting a little bit nice. From like March to like early June, from what I remember, you know, I haven't been there for almost 10 years now, but From what I remember, from March to early June, it's really nice, really comfortable. You know, it's like decent. But then fucking mid-June to like early September, it's fucking just hot as fuck. Bro, when the blackout happened in the East Coast, oh, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was crazy because there was no power, so at nighttime in the city, it was just dark as fuck. Sketchy. People were getting robbed and shit. They were selling water for like ridiculous, like $10 bottle of waters and shit on the street. You know, it was so crazy. It was so weird. You know, what would we do without electricity and energy and shit, man? Life would suck.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's fucking scary, bro.
How long was it like that for?
It was like that for about a week.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like overnight or something.
Nah, it was like that for like a week, and it was hot. Yeah, fucking sucked. And then you have the best time in the East Coast for sure is like October time frame during the fall, because the leaves change colors, real beautiful, it's real nice, and it's like perfect out. It's like probably like 75 degrees, and it's a nice cool brisk breeze, you know, and you can smell like the fall in the air, and it's just, bro, it's fucking awesome, you know. They don't do Mischief Night out here. When I was growing up, we had fucking Mischief Night. You know what Mischief Night is?
No.
Oh, man. So Mischief Night is this night. It's the night before Halloween. And all the fucking kids go out and they just do bad shit, bro. Like paintball cars and throw eggs. And like, when I was growing up, bro, everybody knew Mischief Night, like, you didn't leave your house unless you wanted your car to get fucked up.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Like every year, bro, the high school kids were out just doing dumb shit. We were just driving around, throw eggs. We had like paintball guns. We just, you know, we were kids, man. You know, like we were out on the street all the time, bro. We all had bikes and shit. We're just riding around, cruising around, just looking for shit to do. You know, and a lot of it was stupid shit, but it molded us into who we are today. You know?
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, I have a quick question.
Huh?
Before I forget, what are the differences that you noticed between the girls on the East Coast and the West Coast?
All right.
Like,
yeah, that's a good question. That's a real good question.
A lot of hot girls on the East Coast?
You know, so on the East Coast, the girls on the East Coast, their swagger is like hard, bro. Like real, like just their demeanor, the way they talk and the way they act, like they're real quick-witted, bro. There's very little ditzy girls on the East Coast. Like they're real quick-witted. They're real quick to tell you to fuck off. They're like bitchy almost, but in like a real hot way, you know. And like they play the card real well. Like they play hard to get. You know what I mean? Even though they know that they're gonna let you smash, you know what I mean? They'll still act like they're not. You know. So you know, and yeah, it's pretty dope, man. And they're all like thick thighs, thick hips, big butts.
Oh yeah,
bro. Yeah. They're thick, bro. And like that's the other thing that I remember is like, no matter what, it can be like 16 degrees, snow on the ground. On a Saturday night, there'll still be bitches like walking to the club in heels and like mini skirts and shit. You're like, fuck. In New Haven, Connecticut, bro, like, and out there, and like, again, where I'm from, like the tri-state area, bro, so many Puerto Rican chicks and Colombians and Dominican chicks, like Hispanic chicks, bro, like just like, yeah.
On point, huh?
Yeah, they're on point out there, man.
Ooh.
You know, and out here, I noticed that the girls are a lot more friendly, a lot more like, hippie-ish, they're way more comfortable out here having a conversation with you at the bar, and they're just like, no, we're just friends. Like, I'm just being friendly with you, Like out here, you can have a conversation with a girl at the bar, and she'll be like, okay, nice meeting you. Hopefully I'll see you again. And she'll walk away, and she really only, like, doesn't mean anything sexual by it. On the East Coast, it doesn't work like that. You sit next to a bar, you sit next to a girl at the bar, she'll already give you a dirty look. You know what I mean? Like, she's not looking to conversate with you. You got to work your way in there.
I kind of like that though.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. I like coming out here and just having friendly girls. You know what I mean? And like a lot of them are like, especially down here in San Diego, and nothing against the girls out here in San Diego. A lot of my female friends are listening. I don't think this about you, or maybe I do. Either way, if the shoe fits, just wear it. But they're real ditzy, man. You know what I mean? They're real like, yeah, you want to come over? Yeah, well, I got beers in my house. You can come over and you can crash if you want. And you're like, all right, bitch, let's just do that. Hell yeah.
Be a skank, be the best.
Yeah, hey, that's so funny. I have a buddy of mine, right? My boy Marcello, man. This dude has the wildest pickup lines I've ever heard, yo. This dude, he'll be talking to a girl. He's an East Coast dude. I've known this kid since preschool. And he's still a good friend of mine. He comes out here and visits me sometimes. And he'll be talking to a girl, and then it like just mid-conversation, he'll be like, so you're gonna suck my dick or what? Bro, he'll come off like that, and like I ask, like, he doesn't give a fuck, and I'm like, dog, do you think that shit is gonna work every time? And his response was priceless. He said, bro, if that shit doesn't work, I don't even want to fuck with them.
That's savage.
Yeah, bro. But I mean, I don't know. It's there's definitely a difference in like the demeanor in the East Coast and the West Coast. But if you're a people person, you make it happen, man. But I've noticed like I'm a lot more comfortable in the East Coast. I get along with the people out there because all of them are assholes out there. Over here, people are really friendly, so I'm very standoffish with my personality because I don't want to throw people off. So I try to be friendly, but it comes off kind of like weird because I'm not really. Like, I'm a nice guy, but I'm just not like I'm not like a friendly person, Like I like poking fun and making jokes, and I can take it as good as I can dish it, So I don't know. It's definitely different personality-wise. What about out there in New Zealand, man? They speak English out there, don't they?
Yeah.
So like, what's the difference over there with like girls? I know in Australia, like there's a lot more girls than guys, and it's like role reversal out there. In Australia, a girl buys the guy drinks.
Yeah, and they love Americans out there.
Yeah.
So guys, go to Australia.
Yeah. Well, I was in Darwin, and it was not the Australia that you'd expect. But we still had a good time. I still had a real good experience. Mm-hmm. Is New Zealand like that, though, as far as, like, girls and guys and shit?
Well, because in the neighborhood where my family's from in New Zealand, it's like the ghetto, So you get a lot of those kind of girls. They're kind of... Yeah, they're just really thuggish girls. I mean, you run into your good girls out there. They're just... They're proper. You got people from everywhere down there too. I mean, it's mainly whites, and then islanders, every kind of islander you'd think, and then they have babies, and then you see kids growing around that age. They look totally white, but they're islander too. So you gotta watch what you say around them too, because a lot of them know that as know another language.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, but I like American girls. I like.
Yeah, you do. You like white girls, huh?
I like white girls.
Bro, you're a fucking bully, man. You just like throwing that big Samoan dick all over that white pussy and shit.
Yeah, I like country girls. Country girls are my weakness.
Country girls.
Hell yeah. What about you? What kind of girls do you like?
Me, man. Honestly, I never really had a type. I've been with all different types of girls. I've been with Hispanic girls, white girls. I've been with black chicks. I don't know. I don't really have a type. I like smart girls. Yeah. I like witty girls. I like girls that I can have a good time with.
Definitely.
I mean, not to sound like gay or cliche. I don't know, man. I feel like I've had my fun. I'm only 26, but I've had my fun so early that I'm really like just trying to chill out now. I'm not like I don't go out and try to get laid and like I mean. Even when I was single, it wasn't even like that. It was getting to a point when, I don't go out and like look for it. You know what I mean? I just go out and chill and have a good time, and I like meeting people, guys and girls. I'm not really looking for, You know, before it was like a job. You know, he's like, we're gonna go out, we're gonna get pussy, and like, I don't know. Like now, I feel like I'm just chilling. You know, and if you're cool, you're cool, and that's it. I just like positive people, right? I have a buddy of mine. He used to say a quote, and I forgot. It was quality time with quality people. And, like, that holds true today with me. You know what I mean? That really resonates with me. It's true.
I like it.
You know? Quality time with quality people. That's what it's all about. You know? You got to surround yourself with like-minded people. It's like what you were saying at the gym, right? How, like, at the gym, like, being around, like, Wallel and shit like that. People who were hungry, it, like, made you more hungry. Right? Really changed your mindset.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah, man. Because the energy is contagious, man.
Right.
You can't help but feel it.
Right. And I believe in that 100%. You know, I had overheard that, like, a lion's mane, it, like, will change colors if it loses a fight. If it loses a fight against another lion, I don't know if it turns more black or less black. But, and that's, like, in the wild how you can tell, like, who's the alpha. Whose male has more or less black in it.
So whoever has the right color hair is the true Super Saiyan.
Right. But what I'm getting at is it's crazy how, like, in their mind, because essentially what's happening is they lost the battle, they know they lost, so in their mind makes it happen to where other people can see that they're now inferior to the other lions.
That makes sense.
You know? Mm-hmm. So, like, I do think that the mind plays a huge role in society, you know? You know, and what happens in your outcome, you have to make it happen. You know, you really have to go after it, and you have to be hungry all the time. You know?
Yep, that routine. Yep.
So, what's next for you specifically? What do you got coming up? Anything big?
Nothing is official yet. There's a couple different options. Can't really say a whole lot about it right now. But
yeah.
I'm looking to make my pro debut. Yeah, I'm ready to go, man. You know what I like is I like watching you fight. Your fights. I was at both of your fights. When are we going to see you back in there?
I don't know. We're going to see what happens. It's just hard, man, because I work full time, you know, in the Marine Corps, and
yeah, you just moved too. You work all the time.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, I wake up at 4 a.m. and I'm out of the house by 4:45. I go to work, I PT at work. And I'm up there teaching classes, and I have like a platoon of students on deck, and I'm off by like average time like 5 p.m. and then I come all the way down here and I'm stuck in traffic. So ultimately what I'd like to do is move in completely once I get this whole situation with my car is all jacked up and I'm trying to get it like worked on, but once I get my whole situation with the car figured out, what I'd like to do is just set up everything in the car, and then instead of coming here, just go straight to the gym, train, shower at the gym, and then come home, you know? But again, I thought I'd be settled in by now, and this is just not going the way I planned it, but we'll see. I mean, I want to fight as soon as I can, but I mean, you know, that October fight's coming quick, and I'm still pretty heavy, you know? I mean, maybe I'll take something at 185. We'll see what happens, but ultimately I got to get in there and train like you said, and I just haven't been putting in the work that I'd like to. Not right now, I'm not.
But you don't have the time right now, man.
Yeah.
You're working all the fucking time, and you're moving. Once you get settled in, you know, you got the ball rolling, and you'll be able to be a little more freed up. And you're about to get out of the Marine Corps. Congratulations on being staff sergeant.
Yeah, I got selected staff sergeant. It's pretty cool, man. I'm excited about that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You know, I always said, like, if they promote me, then the Marine Corps fucked up. And they promoted me, man. The Marine Corps fucked up. I'm about to wreak havoc at work, man.
Yeah, because it's your office, man. You got those plaques everywhere. Like,
yeah, you've been in my office,
accomplishments, man.
Yeah, I've done a lot in the Marine Corps, man. And I love the Marine Corps. I don't got nothing against it. I think it's just, it's not what I want to do anymore, you know? I don't want to sound like I'm like this hardened warrior that I like war and shit, but I joined during a time of war, and now we're not in a time of war. And, you know, it's a different mentality right now in the Marine Corps that I feel like I can put that energy towards something else. I feel like right now the Marine Corps the Marine Corps is a war fighting organization at the end of the day, you know, and we're not fighting a war. So I really do feel like I'm like sitting and waiting. I don't like having that stagnant feeling. I want to move on with my life and go on to the next chapter. And like I said, I have nothing against the Marine Corps. It's a very successful Marine. I got promoted pretty quickly, fairly quickly. I've done a lot of good things that, my peer group didn't get to experience and see. And I've traveled a little bit, and now I'm ready to get out, man, live a normal life. Well, semi-normal, control my own life.
Yeah.
Control what I do every day. Have total control. Be able to call into work, hey, I'm not going to make it, And just fight, train, go to school. I really don't know. Maybe this podcast thing will blow up and I focus on this. I don't know. I'm doing what I like, man. I like this podcast.
Yeah, this is sweet, man.
I like fighting. I like training. I like hanging out, so.
Yeah, this comes really easy for you too,
Yeah, I like it, man. This is pretty cool, and I don't know, this was a concept that I came up with, and I feel like I'm around active volcanoes all the time. I feel like I'm around a bunch of people that are about to blow up, and for me it's very important to get that message out there. Is, I still feel like I'm a nobody, but I've done a lot and I've come a long way. I have a lot of accomplishments in life, period. And I think it takes a certain kind of mentality that anybody can make happen. Everybody has goals and dreams, but there's people who talk about it. There's people who are about action and making it happen. I've talked about this podcast for a long time. I have goals that I talk about. I want to go try to do stand-up comedy. I have like a list of things on my phone, and I'm just going to go to open mic one night and just try it out, because I'm about action. I want to do things. I want to experience things. And
hell yeah.
I think there's too many people that just talk about it. They're about talk. They're not about action. And for me, this podcast is a way for people to see there are people out there that started with an idea, started talking about it, started making action, and they have these little accomplishments as they fucking grow, and eventually we're all going to blow up, man. Oh, yeah. And I'd really like this podcast to become something special for people to see and be like, wow, like, the podcast in itself went from nothing to something. Danny Mo went from nothing to something. Everybody on his show, the first couple episodes, these dudes that are UFC champions, the first couple episodes of his show is when they were amateur fighters or when they were just coming up in the game, Ultimately, I'd like that to happen. That'd be cool. I think it's good, positive energy to put out there for the world to see and for, people to see. Like, it just takes hard work and dedication, commitment to your craft, and go after it, man. You got to be hungry, though.
Yeah, you got a cool setup here, too, man. I mean, look at, you got all this high-tech shit, dude. Where'd you get it? You working with the cartel guys?
Nah, man. This is some good stuff, I got an investor. My girl, she invested in me. You know what I mean? So, hopefully I think it's going to pay for itself, man, because I also do music and stuff. I like recording stuff and, like, singing and rapping, and I do a bunch of stuff, and my girl, like, sings, too. She's real good. I'm teaching myself the guitar. See the guitar right here? I got the ukuleles and shit, So, I don't know. I think this was a really good investment for me with these these microphones, and it's a good, comfortable setup, man.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I don't know. Next week I got... Prince James, bitch.
Oh, shit.
Got my boy Prince James coming through here. He's going to talk just a little bit about his Rock the Promo thing that he did. And
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was great. He got far in that competition.
He did. I don't think he lost, bro. Did you see how he lost? It was some bullshit.
I mean, tell everybody what it is, the Rock the Promo thing first.
I'll let him tell. I don't really know what it is that well either, but I guess The Rock was looking for, like, the next big superstar, and he had this, like, YouTube thing where it was like you basically submit a video of, like, talking trash and you're playing your persona. And a friend of mine, a friend of ours, our teammate, he trains with us down at Oceanside, he submitted his video. And he's a huge WWF or WWE fan, whatever, your preference for the name is. And a lot of people don't know that I actually grew up next door to the WWE headquarters. This is where my grandma lives, so I was a huge fan myself. I have a whole story you guys will hear next week when it comes to, pro wrestling. But so he submitted his video and he got in, and he was one of the 32 videos picked out of, I don't know, however many people submitted it. And man, he had some good stuff. He had some funny material that he was throwing out there, and very interesting. positive person chasing a dream, you know, trying to make it happen just like everybody else, you know?
Yeah.
So we're going to hear from him next week. I'm excited.
So, are you going to have a bunch of girls walking around naked then, like you are right now?
I wish.
Come sit on my lap.
I wish.
Maybe I'll do what your boy did. Hey, you want to suck me, dick?
I wish, bro. That'd be so sick to just have girls walking around naked all the time. That'd be dope.
Like, hey, you, come here. Just like Clinton, huh?
The funny thing is they have that already. It's called a strip club. You know what I mean? We could easily go there right now.
The strip club?
Yeah.
I thought we were going there after this.
I wish,
not?
man.
Aw.
I wish. Maybe this week. No, next weekend because I'm going up to Sacramento this weekend.
For sure.
We'll figure out a time to get out and do some fun stuff. We just got to be smart, man. Keep this positive train going, you know?
For sure, man.
Get me ready for the next fight. Get you ready for your pro debut. Keep working and grinding. Hey, the other day we were sparring a little bit, man. You were throwing those fucking spinning kicks at me, boy. I was like, woo! Oh. You're a big dude to be throwing those spinning kicks at me, man.
Yeah, man, we got some good work in.
Yeah.
I miss sparring with you.
You know, I feel like I always push you. I feel like I know you well enough. You're a big, intimidating guy, and I think a lot of the guys that you spar with, I think they're scared to like come inside and really push you. So they're very timid. They play that outside game with you. So I like coming in and like working you. I like making you work and making you throw on me. You know what I mean? Like really bringing it to you.
Yeah, because when I spar with a lot of the 135ers, 145ers, even 125ers, I mean, those guys are just so fast, I can't even catch them. They just move around and tap me. And one time I had said to a guy, I said, hey, man, you know what? Why don't you just stand there and bang with me? You know, he's a little guy, 125 as a kid boy. He said, man, I don't care. And you hit hard, and I'm not trying to get hit like that. So I'm going to move around, and I'm just going to hit you, and you won't be able to hit me. And that's exactly what he did. All around. They're just so fat, you can't hit them.
Who's that, Jesse Cruz? Is that Jesse Cruz who said that?
You know who you are. Fucking dancing around.
That's hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. Hell yeah, man. Look at you over there rocking your 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu San Diego shirt. Is that hoop shirt?
It was hoop shirt.
You took it for real. You're like, it's mine now.
But he said that all I had to do was show him what I looked like naked, and I could have it. So
yeah.
I stripped down for him real quick, and he gave me the t-shirt.
That's what's up, man.
No, I'm just kidding. He didn't. Fuck out of here, guys. Sick.
What's wrong with you? Fucking fighters are weird, man.
Yep. We're a bunch of our. That's why I can't hang around people that aren't fighters.
Yeah, normal people don't really. And I think that's why it's gonna be an easy transition from the Marine Corps, because Marines are fucking weird too.
Really?
Yeah, Marines are weird.
Gotta be weird, though.
The gayest homophobes you'll ever meet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. It's weird. I mean, that's not the only thing about Marines that are weird, but we definitely have some interesting conversations. And in like male, female, black, white, Asian, Spanish, doesn't matter. Like, every single one of them are weird. We can all be on the same level. We can have a conversation about the weirdest thing. And like, it's cool. Fighters are the same way.
Yeah.
You know? Like, when you start drinking, people get around you when you're drinking, you know what I mean? You're like a different Eli, bro. You're like, the Throwin Samoan comes out. People are like, bro, control your boy. We're like, it's just Eli. We're like grabbing him. He's like,
Yeah. Don't be scared, homie.
It's hilarious. No. It's hilarious.
It's all in good fun.
Yeah.
In the end.
It's a good time. Well, man, we're going to wrap it up. We're like at 1:09 right now. Or, I'm sorry, 1 hour and 9 minutes right now.
Shout-outs.
Yeah. Do some shout-outs, man. Do some shout-outs. Who you going to give shout-outs to?
Shout out to the almighty 10 Planet Oceanside Freaks. Freaks Don't Sleep. 10 Planet San Diego Combat Academy. Team Hurricane. Awesome. All my teammates, man. All my family. Love you guys. Mom, dad. All my brothers and sisters. You all know who you are. Been with me since day one, man. We're going to take this thing to the end.
Hell yeah, that's what's up. Freaks Don't Sleep, 10 Planet Oceanside, 10 Planet San Diego. You know where we're at. Come down to San Diego. You want to go on spar with us? Come check us out. You know what I mean? Gym Wars is coming up, so we're gonna have some work for that. And again, guys, thanks for tuning in. You know, like I said already, this podcast it's a pretty big deal to me, and there can be 6 people that follow it. There can be 8 million people who follow it. At the end of the day, it's not going to stop, you know. It's all about being nothing and turning into something, because everybody started from somewhere. All right, guys. Till next week, we'll see you again. Peace out. Woo woo.